Hi everyone, my name is Irina Lawrence Messias, and this is episode 15 of Stories with the Shepherdess. Well, hello, welcome back. It is a beautiful day at the very end of May, and the last time we had chatted, it was March. And then life just got hectic. It was Maryland Sheep and Wool Prep, LYS Day Prep, and also the most important thing of all, preparing the classroom space and gathering space, which I am now sitting in. It is done! I'm so excited, but we're going to chat more about that in a little bit. First and foremost, I want to talk about farm talk. We have some very fun things going on. So first and foremost, we had a lamb this season. So our girl Elvira is a Leicester Longwool ewe, and we bred her to Faulkner. And Faulkner came to our farm in August to be the handsome man that Elvira was going to hang out with. And she must have not taken right away because sheep have a 5-month gestational period, and come, January, February, she wasn't really showing signs of being pregnant. And lo and behold, all of a sudden, at the beginning of April, sort of beginning to middle of April, as we were prepping for LYS Day in Maryland, I was checking out the sheep and I was like, oh, I think I see an udder. So then, of course, we were like, ooh, we specifically bred you so that you wouldn't lamb during Maryland Sheep and Wool Week. Now, if Elvira was a Shetland, it would be totally fine. We would be like, whatever, not a big deal. Shetlands lamb, and they sort of all just come out running. But Leicester Longwools are more so rare for a reason, in the fact that sometimes they just need a little bit more assistance. They are not primitive, they are domesticated, and there is a difference in that. So we were nervous, we were checking on her. Thankfully, she waited. On May 6th, beautiful Polly, the Leicester Longwool, was born on our farm. Faulkner is very proud. Elvira is very proud, and she is a crackin' lamb. She is growing so well. She's really beautiful, and she definitely has her dad's body type, which is really, really good. And we're super excited because as of right now, Polly is she is one of only 64 lambs that were birth notified for 2025. And in the Leicester Longwool Sheep Breeders Association, and she is only one of 17 natural black Leicester Longwools that were birth notified. Now, there are some people that breed Leicesters that do not birth notify them, but within the official registry, she is only one of 64 lambs to hit the ground this year, and we're very excited and very honored that we get to continue raising these very important rare breed sheep. I'll talk a little bit more about the importance of rare breeds in another video. I don't need to bore you, but if you do want to listen, I'm going to pop the link below about why it is important to support rare breeds. I'm going to pop that into the show notes just so that you have them. So we are focused on lambing. We're checking on Polly. She's now back out in the field with everybody and her mom. Everything's going well, and it is now lavender time. It is a year-round thing having a farm, which seems so silly, but we never have a quiet season, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So it is gearing up for lavender season. U-pick usually starts the second week of June, and so crunch time because it's the last full week of May right now. And this year we decided to give our sort of pollinator section a little bit of a facelift. And we are pulling down all of the pea gravel that is in the parking area lavender field, and we are going to be replacing it just so that it looks a little bit neater for guests. And thankfully our U-pick field just needs some good mowing, and then that'll be ready for the season too. So we're very excited. We're starting to see some spikes happening, a little bit of color on our Munsteads and our hid coats, which that's earlier than usual. Usually it's not until the very end of May that we start to see that, but the weather has been so wacky that I'm not surprised. So that's what's happening around the farm. There's a lot going on. We have a lot of stuff just doing, and it's just so amazing, and we're really just very excited for everything that's happening right now. A lot happening that we maybe didn't expect, which is I'm gonna sort of semi-touch on what's on my needles. So right now I am working on The Finest Kind by Alicia Plummer, and it is I'm knitting this up in our Seadale yarn, which is a blend of Manx Lockton, which is a endangered sheep breed, and our Wensleydale. So it's our exclusive commercial line. It's a worsted weight, and I just feel like the texture that this is giving is just so beautiful. I have not actually knit a garment since before I was pregnant with my daughter, so that has been just over 4 years, and I'm really excited to get back to garment knitting. So I think this will be a Rhinebeck. Knit. It's going really fast. I'm really excited for it. It's just super cozy, and I really am just so in love with the fabric that the Seadale is giving, along with the stitch pattern that Alicia has. Last time we talked, I was working on my Sophie hood, which I finished. Here's a photo. I love it. Super soft. Loved working with the Germantown and stranding it together. I think that it just did a really good job being stranded with their Harmony yarn, and I'm so very excited to do another project with that. I have one in my mind, but I want to finish my Finest Kind first, and then I will move on to that next project that I'm thinking of. I'm also spinning a little bit again. I've decided to recommit to my drop spindle. This one actually, funny enough, is not mine. It's my mom's drop spindle, but I am spinning up some of our Shetland roving. So this is from Curly. This is some roving that we just had made at the mill on my my mom's Turkish drop spindle from Snyder Spindles. And we have, I think, like 5 or 6 colors of Shetland that we had made. So I'm going to plan on taking all of sort of the leftover, like we're packaging them into 4-ounce packages for Shave 'em to Save 'em purposes. And then I'm planning on taking whatever little bit of leftover there is and just spinning like a really beautiful natural colored gradient that I'll either work up into like a shawl or maybe like a little summer top, because the Shetland tends to be on the finer side, and I'm spinning it pretty thin, so I think I'll be able to get a nice like lace weight single there. Shetland roving is on our website. I'll link that below. We're really pleased with the stuff that we got back from this mill this season. That is a sort of what's on my needles. I'm trying to really focus in on working on one new project to completion and then finishing a work in progress. So a work in progress I actually just finished was the Sophie hood. That was a work in progress I had finished, but I also just pulled one from the deep dark depths of my stash and work in progress bin, and I finished my Always hat by Jared Flood. I knit it in a child size, and instead of utilizing their yarns, I had knit it up in our Leicester Longwool sport weight, and I had like 3 inches in the decreases to go. So I finally finished it. Here's a beautiful photo. It does fit my daughter. She looks gorgeous in it, but of course it is kind of warm, so she's not willing to wear it for a photo for me right now, but I did put it on her head just to see how it looked. And I really love the halo that the Leicester Longwool gives this piece. It's really, really beautiful. I'm really pleased with it. And last time we had talked, because I'm sort of getting ready to move into shop updates anyways. The last time I talked about wanting to do the King Salmon hat by Caitlin Hunter in Loft, and then our exclusive Forge yarn that we did in collaboration with Brooklyn Tweed. And we got the news at the end of April, so it was just about a month after I released the prior episode, that Brooklyn Tweed would be ceasing all yarn production, which was very sad, but we also fully understand as people that are deep in the American wool industry ourselves. Supply chain is just really broken right now. There's a lot of factors and there's a lot of different reasons, but we fully understand and we fully support Brooklyn Tweed on their next chapter just to move back into pattern writing. I decided to obviously not do that project because it just wouldn't, I love it, and I do have some yarn in my stash that would work for it, but there was no point trying to knit it up fast to be a shop sample when we couldn't sell any yarn. We only have a little bit left. I think we only have like 2 or 3 colors of loft left. We've got like 3 or 4 colors of dapple, and then I would say the lines that we have the most of, we do have tones left and arbor and imbue left, but shelter fully sold out within the first like 3 days after the announcement. We're very grateful for everyone's support and choosing to shop with us, and we are very excited to keep supporting Brooklyn Tweed in a nostalgic way as they go back into pattern design exclusively. That is sort of a what's on my needles / shop update. If you had visited our store in the past, you'll have known that the entire back wall, so an entire like 14, 15 foot of wall space and then like 8 foot high was all Brooklyn Tweed. And we carried every available color of almost all but like one or two of their lines. We had a lot of Brooklyn Tweed on our shelves. Great thing about loving the traceable wool industry is that we just pivoted right away and we just looked back to accounts that we had applied for back right as we had gotten the Brooklyn Tweed dealership. So we now carry Harrisville Designs. We have their Highland worsted weight yarn, and I'm very excited to be working up a sample in that very soon. Still trying to think of the color, so I'm just gonna wait before I show you guys, but hopefully I will film an episode in the next like couple weeks where I'll have some progress. And then to replace the DK weights, we decided to get in Mountain Meadow wool. We're carrying their Jackson DK, which is beautiful. It's gorgeous colors, and I'm very excited to cast on the Gansey shawl by Rachel Brockman as my shop sample for that yarn. It's really soft, very springy, and I think that Rachel's textured patterns are going to shine in the Jackson DK, so I'm really excited for that. And then for the fingering weight, we actually decided to add a American-made sock yarn back into it. So we're now carrying Bailey Sock by Imperial Yarns, another really beautiful one, and it is a blend of merino, alpaca, and nylon, and then it is done up in some beautiful hand-dyed colors. So we have some nice replacements. Our wall is full and we're really excited. And then we're also going to be getting in some extra yarns from Kelbourne Woolens as well once the summer months pass. I know this was a little bit of a fast and furious Stories with the Shepherdess episode, but I cannot thank you enough for joining me, and I hope to chat with you very soon.